All right. Now, the agenda of this program is to teach you how to code, to help you to learn how to to be able to design websites, to be able to run computer programs efficiently, and to do a whole lot of things. In fact, within the first 3 months of this program, you would have started coding effectively like a pro. It is a promise. You would have started coding effectively like a pro, like a big time pro when you as after the first 3 months of this program. And then the agenda is just to make you a pro and to also prepare you for the greater challenges or the greater tasks ahead in the world of technology. This technology thing that we are talking about is not only going to earn you personal income, it is also going to prepare you for the challenges that are coming forth. Because the old generation, everywhere now and everyone, we are all going technology wise. Technology is applied in every sector of life, in every sector of work. It is applied in technology is applied in every sector. It's applied in your it's applied in medicine, it's applied in law, it's applied everywhere. So you don't just have to be a computer scientist or don't have to be a science student to be a programmer. You need to be a programmer regardless of the aspects of work that you find yourself. And then more so, when you become technology oriented, you are also going to be more relevant wherever you find yourself. So let's say, assuming you're working with a company, and a time comes and they have to sack everybody. A time comes and so many people have to be sacked and all that. But they will retain you. You know why? Because you are multifunctional. You are tech oriented. You are able to bring innovations to the company. You are able to help the company to see things from other points of view. You understand that you're able to impact the company positively and greatly. So all of this will actually help you to become relevant anywhere you find yourself. Because any company that has someone like you, they will value you so much they don't even want to lose you. They will value you so much they don't even want to, they cannot do without you. No company can just come from nowhere and just sack you. When you have a food portfolio, you alone, apart from the basic professionalism you have, apart from the fact that okay, you're an accountant, apart from the fact that okay, you are a teacher or whatever, they know that you can design websites, you can develop websites, you can work on their back end, you can do programming. They know that you can deal with databases. They know that you can help the company in digital marketing to promote their company worldwide and to make it visible everywhere. They know that you can do all of these things. So in that case, they will not even want to joke with you. They want to just have you because you are multi-talented, you are multi-skilled, you are powerful, you are endowed with a lot of skills, a lot of things. So you become so relevant. Even though they are sacking everybody, they cannot sack you. So it is very important that everybody has a sound knowledge of technology in order to thrive in this world that we are today. The need for this is endless, but I cannot just continue to say the necessities. All right, so without much ado, I want us to jump into coding. We are going to learn how to code using Python, using JavaScript, but we are starting with Python. It's very easy to learn. JavaScript are so very easy to learn, and it's good to learn JavaScript because it's applicable in web development and in many other aspects too. You even apply it in cloud engineering and all that. Okay, so by the time you are done with this program, you will be able to fit into every aspect of technology. So it is you that will now decide that, okay, this is the area I want to face. Whether you want to face web development full-time, or you want to face database management full-time, or you want to face data science full-time, or you want to face machine learning, or you want to face any kind of aspect, or artificial intelligence, any aspect of tech, like any aspect of advanced tech that you now want to go into, you'll be able to go into it freely after you are done with this program that I'm running with you in the next couple of months. So apart from the fact that you begin to make money immediately, you can also be able to advance into higher levels in tech. And this program will prepare you for anything tech, which will prepare you for it. So it's going to be a very great one, and I would like to see you grow along with me. So once again, I am Mr. Emmanuel Kadiri, and you are welcome to Skill Up with ESDL. Now, in your browser, if you are using a phone, you can just minimize. You will still be hearing me. Despite that, you still be hearing me very well. I wish that you have a computer system that you will join this class with your phone, and then you also you'll be programming on your laptop at the same time, so that whatever you are seeing on the screen, you can be practicing it on your laptop simultaneously. But if you don't have a laptop, no problem. You can still borrow somebody else's phone around you. If the phone is an Android phone or it's a smartphone in general, you can use it to code as well. I will just take you to a website that you can go, where you can use the website. You can use the website to code on any device, whether you are using phone or whether you are using laptop. But to enjoy this program very well, it is better you use laptop. You understand? But I don't want you to be limited. You can use your tablet, you can use your laptop, you can use any device that you have to enjoy this program. So I will just take you to a website where you can, with which you can access all of this. You can be able to program effectively. All right. So please, in your browser, I want you to type. Let me put it in the notes. All right, Favor, you are very much welcome. All right, in your browser, please, I want you to type this. I'm already there. Online-python.com, please. Yes, any browser and any phone can access it to. Yeah. So even though you leave the screen, your phone leaves the screen or your device leaves the screen, you will still be able to hear me very well while you are coding. So you can just be minimizing and switching between screens, so that you can also be able to see my screen as I'm presenting, and then you'll be able to follow me through. I want you to program along with me as I am programming. As I'm doing the coding, just be coding along with me. I told you before, I'm going to send you notes after the class. I'm going to send you notes, and I'm as well going to send you the video of this, the recording of this session, so that you can as well use it to follow up. All right. So if we keep working like this every day, I'm sure you'll become professional programmers in just a matter of days. Okay. All right. Good. Now, when you go to online-python.com, you will see I turned my own into dark mode because of my eyes. So you can, yours might come in white, but this one came in black because I turned it to dark mode. You will see the option to turn it into dark mode over there. Okay, so let's quickly jump into coding. So now the very first thing that you're going to do here is that you will just type the body of the display. You understand? Just type the body of the display, and you highlight all, select all, and delete everything. Clear the screen. You can as well achieve that same thing. You can as well achieve that. I think there is a quick button to do that. Okay, it is only available in the shell. All right. So in my own case, I'm using laptop, so I just press Ctrl A and I backspace. So everything on the screen gets cleared. So if you are using your device, you are using your phone, just select some text and then click on select all, and then wipe everything out, so that everything will be clear. I don't want to see anything on the screen. So as you can see, my screen now is wiped out, and then you'll be able to see. You will see nothing on the screen. Now, I'm teaching you. I'm trying to teach you by practice. So not by theory, not just by theory. So I'm going to send the notes for you for the theory, but now just see what I'm doing and follow me the way I am doing it. We want to learn how to program your computer. Computer programming is all about teaching the computer what to do, or trying to direct the computer on what to do, so that the computer, by the time the program is run, the computer will begin to follow the instruction that you have given to him. So every time that you are writing a computer program, you are actually sending instructions to the computer. And all the computer will just do is to follow that instruction and do what you ask him to do. It's as simple as that. Computer is very, very smart, but it is not wise. It is because it is because of the fact that computer is not wise. That is the reason why you have to teach computer everything it must do. It is smart. Computer is smarter than you. It is smart because it can perform large amount of calculations within microsecond and it will give you accurate results. It is very, very smart. It can do a whole lot of things that human beings cannot do. Computer is extremely very, very smart, but it is not wise. It is because computer is not wise, it needs your own wisdom to help its smartness. And that is the reason why you, being a human being that is wise, you have to start teaching the computer everything you want computer to do by giving it simple instructions. You and I, we perform programming every day of our life, but we don't even know that we are doing it. Each time you carry your mouse to click on a button, you are actually programming. Each time you press enter, or you press your keyboard, or you even type something on your phone and you press enter, or you press send and the thing sends, you are actually doing programming. Because while you are typing those things, okay, and then you send, that send means that you are giving the computer or the device that you are using an instruction to send the thing you just finished typing. And it will do just that for you. If you snap yourself a selfie, you snap a selfie, mwah, and then after snapping the selfie, you see yourself, your beautiful face, you understand? Even though you're ugly, you are still beautiful, okay? So then you see yourself and then you start using some kind of app to edit the picture. As you are doing all those editing functions, as you are applying those filters, you are actually programming, but you don't know. As you are giving instruction with those filters, the program is you are telling the computer to carry out some steps, and it is doing them for you. So this time around now, we want to do the same thing, but from another angle. This time we are doing it professionally. We are actually writing some kind of things that may look like jargons, but those things make a lot of sense to the computer, and the computer is using it to do what you just asked it to do. You understand? So that is how it goes. Now, the very first thing I want us to understand is okay. Let us just do this very simple basic things, very, very simple basic things that you and I know very, very well. All right, so let's just do this. You can tell Python, you can say 2 plus 5. All right, if you say 2 plus 5, we all know that the answer is 7. But this 2 plus 5 cannot just be displayed on the screen. We cannot just get the answer. We need something to help us to calculate, we need something to help us to present the answer. So in Python programming, the print statement is used to perform this function. If I say print into brackets 2 plus 5, and I say print into brackets 2.5, all right? As I just type the print, please, it is in small letter. Python is very case sensitive, so it must be in small letter. So I just put print, open brackets, 2 plus 5, which means everything that is inside this bracket, please display the result for me. That is what you just told Python to do for you. And then if you do that, and then you come down here, and then you click on run. You come down here and click on run. Okay, when you click on run, you are going to see the results. The result is 7, as you can see. The result is 7, as you can see. All right. So we are just starting from the very, very basic, from the basicest of the basic. All right. Now, assuming instead of having numbers, if I desire to display my name, if I desire to display my name instead, I can just choose to do something like this. Print, I open the bracket, I write Emmanuel inside the bracket. All right, and I write Emmanuel inside the bracket. As you have it this way, if you click on run here, you will see that it will display Emmanuel. Okay. We are starting from the bottom, from the scratch. We are still going very far, but we are just starting from the scratch. I just want you to see the basic things that you can do using this platform. Okay? So, now, earlier we said print 2 plus 5. It gave us the result, which is 7. The next thing we said print Emmanuel. But if you notice something, when I wrote Emmanuel, okay, I had to put it inside, I had to put a quote around it. It is very important that anytime you are writing you are writing something that is not number, a non-numeric constant. Anytime you are writing non-numeric constant in Python or in most other programming language, all right, if you are writing a non-numeric constant, please always put it inside a quote. If you don't put it in a quote, you are passing a wrong message to Python. If you do not put it in a quote, you are passing a wrong message to Python. In that case, Python will believe that it will think that you are doing something else. Do you understand? Now, let me take it like this, for instance. Assuming I wrote it like this, Emmanuel, and I said print Emmanuel. Python, you will see that the color has changed. The color of the Emmanuel has changed from green to gray. It is because it is thinking that this is a variable. I'm going to explain to you what variable means. All right? So, but if I do it this way and I run the program, it is going to give me an error. You see? It's giving me an error. Although it wrote this 7 as correct because of the fact that print 2 plus 5 is correct. But the other side, which is Emmanuel, returned an error just because of the fact that Emmanuel is not defined. But it thinks that Emmanuel is a variable name. I'm going to explain to you what variable name means. But it's thinking Emmanuel is a variable name. So it is telling me, guy, I have searched everywhere. I could not find a variable that is defined as Emmanuel. So therefore, please check this line 2 and correct what is there. That is what it's trying to say. Check your line 2 and correct what is there. And if you look at it very well, you see that line 1 says print 2 plus 5, and there's no problem with that. But line 2 says print Emmanuel, and there is problem with that. So in order to correct that problem, all I just need to do is to put it in quotes, just to tell Mr. Python that, see, this thing is not a variable, but it's a constant. I'm going to tell you what a constant and a variable means. Don't worry, I have all of you in mind. I just want to teach you by practice. So when I do something and you see it, I will now tell you the meaning of what you saw. All right, so as you have it this way and you see Emmanuel, as I put it around quotes, if I run the program again, it is going to tell me 7 and Emmanuel, and then there is no problem. Everything is fine. Do you understand it now? So if I want this thing to clear, I just press enter and everything clears off. If I'm using that as if you're using a laptop. Okay, so that is that as per that. So I believe I've been able to make a point. Now I have said 2 things. I mentioned constants and I mentioned variable. Okay? In Python or in many other programming language, any number like this is if I type a number, this number is called a numeric constant. It is a constant because it is a constant. It doesn't change. If I leave this 45 here, it is 45 forever. It does not change. 45 remains 45. 2 remains 2. 5 remains 5. Nothing changes it. The only thing that can change it is when you carry out an operation on it. When you carry out an operation, for instance, this one, we carried an addition operation on it. And so 2 plus 5 gave us 7. And that is why it changed, and 2 and 5 combined together to change into something new. But if the operation was not carried out, this is how 2 will remain 2 and 5 remains 5. Period. Do you understand it now? So that is why it is called a constant. Emmanuel is also a constant. It doesn't change. It is a constant. It doesn't change. If nothing happens here, if I write this Emmanuel here, it remains Emmanuel forever. Nothing changes there. Nothing changes. It's still Emmanuel, and like that, constant. Period. Do you understand? So that is why it is called a constant. But there are some other things that we call variables. You see, the way constant and variables work in programming is the same way it works in mathematics. You understand? The way constant and variable works in mathematics is also how it works in programming. For instance, in mathematics, they will say x plus 5 is equal to 7. Find the value of x. So because x is a variable, so x can assume any value. That is why it is called a variable. Variables are like memory buckets whose values can always change. They're like memory buckets whose values can always change. That is the reason why we call them variables. Do you understand? So now, as we have it this way, 45 is a constant. But if I say, if I write something like this, if I say x, and I say x is equal to 45, all right? If I say x is equal to 45, this 45 here is a constant. We call it a numeric constant because it's a number. This Emmanuel is also a constant, but we call it a string constant because it is not a number. Do you understand? So this x here is a variable, all right? So this x is a variable because, x is 45 now, but x can change to something else later. You understand? When I say x is equal to 45, it means this value 45 is being assigned to what? This variable x. It is called variable because it can always change. You understand? So now, as we have it this way, what if I say x is equal to 45 plus 5? X is equal to 45 plus 5, and I go to the next line and say, print, I open a bracket and I put x in it. Okay, so don't worry about those things that pop up when you are typing. Just keep typing. They are things that help you to type fast. So instead of you typing all the way, if you see something similar to what you already knew, just press enter and it will complete it for you automatically. So that's the work those things do. So if you see print x here means that whatever the value of x is at this instance, display the results. That is the meaning of print. Print means display. It's telling you to display the value of x. Now we know that x is equal to 45 plus 4. So when you say print x, it means that add 4 to 45, and then there is save it as what? As x. Then when you come to the next line, display that value of x. So if you do that and you run the program, you are going to see that the next result is what? Is 49. The first one is 2 plus 5, which happens to be 7. The second one is to display Emmanuel, and it actually did that here. And the third one here is to add 45 to 4 and then save the result as x and then print that variable x. And by the time it printed the variable x, it gave us what? 49. It's just as simple as that. To print means to display. Variables are like memory buckets where you can store values, you can store constants inside them. It is not only numbers that can be saved as this variable. You can also use the variable to save non-numeric constants too. For instance, if I say y is equal to Emmanuel, or I say Emmanuel is a teacher. If I say y equals Emmanuel is a teacher, and I come to the next line and say, okay, print y. Okay, if I say print y, by the time I run the program, you are going to see it. All right, it says Emmanuel is a teacher. So I'm just trying to show you something here that it is not only numbers that can be saved in a variable. You can also save non-numeric constants in the variable. So this variable x was used to save the result of 45 plus 4. But this variable y was used to save the result of Emmanuel is a teacher. You understand? So that is how it goes. So the first one was used to save the results of 45 plus 4, while the next variable y here was used to save the results of Emmanuel is a teacher. I also want you to bring your notice to something. Whether you put a space between print and x and the bracket, or you put the bracket together with it, it doesn't matter. It will still give you your answer. Whether you left some empty lines here before you do something in another line, it doesn't still matter. It will still give you your results. If I like, I will leave all of this line and I write a new code somewhere here, it will still give me my results. It doesn't matter. So those lines are there in order to enhance what we call clarity. There is something we call code readability. So empty spaces makes your code to be very much readable. So that is the benefit. You are going to understand all of these things later. You're going to understand everything later. But I'm just trying to bring you from the scratch, treating you like a baby that knows nothing at all in programming. So that is my aim tonight. So whether you already know about programming before or you are learning it for the first time, no problem. Everybody is going to learn something. So, but if you are already familiar with programming, you can just get more familiar with it the way I'm breaking it, little by little, treating you like a baby. You understand? So just follow me, and if you have any question, you can always type your comments. I will see anything you type immediately. Whatever you type, I will see it immediately. So, or you can unmute your mic and ask a question. Feel very free. This place is for you. You understand? Google made it for all of us. So feel very free. You can ask question at any time. Interrupt me at any time to ask your question. Don't manage to follow me, and don't fit it. You can. You understand? Don't just say you are ashamed. You don't want other people to know that you are asking questions. See, guy, everybody here is a learner, whether they are pro or not. You understand it now? Ask your question. Ask your question. Ask as much as you can. I am here for you. I will answer you. I will make sure that you understand before we move on. Okay? All right. So now we move. So I've told you that the empty lines doesn't matter. Whether the lines are empty, your program will still run. Okay, good. Omolade asked that what is the essence of we writing in brackets? Well, that bracket is this print, for instance, now it's actually a special function. You understand? It's a very special function in Python programming. It does the work of displaying items. Now, if you want the method or the function, if you want it to work, to do the work it wants to do, the thing you want it to work on, you have to put that thing inside brackets so that it will understand that, okay, I want to work on this thing. That thing that you keep inside the bracket, we call it arguments. You understand? Whatever is it that you insert into the bracket is called an argument. The function of the argument is just to make sure that whatever you insert into that bracket, the function of the bracket is that whatever arguments you put inside it is going to be worked upon by the function that governs that bracket. So, for instance, now this is a print function. You are still going to come across so many other functions in the course of your programming. But the very function I'm introducing you, the very first function I'm introducing you to is a print function. And what is the print function used for? It is actually used to display items when you are writing your program. It's just used for display. So whatever you now put inside of it as an argument, the guy will work on that thing and display the result for you. But for it to be able to perform its work very well, it must be kept inside brackets. Without the brackets, the work would not be done. Let us have an example. Let me say, if I say print, and I put a space, and I say Emmanuel, print Emmanuel. In an older version of Python, this would have been very possible. But from Python 3, this version of Python that we are using, the modern Python, it is not allowed. If it's not in brackets, it's not going to work. So let's see what's going to happen if we try to run this. And you see that when we ran it, the guy told me that something is wrong with my line 9. He's telling me something is wrong with my line 9. And if you see my line 9 truly and truly, this is line 9. I said print Emmanuel without putting it in the bracket, and it says syntax error, missing parentheses. Parentheses means brackets. Missing parentheses in call to print. See all those English. Then the guy is now suggesting to you, he said, did you mean print Emmanuel? You see that Oyinbo is very wise. They try to, are you sure it is not this thing that you are trying to do? Just to bring back your head to senses, to the right senses. So then all you just need to do is to go back to the program and then do what you're supposed to do by keeping it inside brackets. And by the time you keep it in brackets and you run it, lo and behold, everything is fine and there is no red alerts. That is how it goes. Any other question before we proceed? And Omodi, I believe that you're good with it, right? I want you to confirm that you understand before I proceed. Okay, yeah, good. All right, so now we move on. All right, what else? What else is here? Okay, good. Well, Odunfa Olumide says I came late too. Um, well, it's all good. Yeah, you missed a lot, but this thing is being recorded. So even though you missed it, you are still going to have the recording. So don't worry about what you missed. Is that clear? So, all right. You asked which ID I am using. Well, I am using online. That's Python. If I know that many people are joining this program. I quite understand that many people are joining this program um, using their phone. A lot of people don't have um, don't have laptop, or maybe you are not using laptop at this time. So I quite understand that, and that is the reason why I decided to use. That's the reason why I decided to use an ID that can be accessed online. That can be accessed online, so everyone can be able to use. All right. So if you have any other question, you can ask before I proceed. All right. In the absence of none, then we move. In the absence of none, we move. IDE, for those of you that don't know the meaning of IDE, IDE simply means Integrated Development Environment. IDE. IDE, I'm typing it in the chat. IDE means, it means Integrated Development Environment. That's the meaning of IDE. It is just a platform or an environment that is used to write your computer program, so that whenever you are writing your code, the environment will run the code for you, and then you will see whatever the message whatever you are programming, it will just run. It will do the whole underground work for you and present the results to you. You understand it now? So it's called Integrated Development Environment, and it is the platform on which you are writing your code. Let me just put it in that simple way. Yes, Buzuzu asked a question that this means there are other ID for laptop. Yes, but whether you are using your laptop or you are using your phone or whatever device, you can always access this IDE online. But the one that they designed deliberately for desktop, for performing high volume function, because this online one is limited. All right, this online one is limited. But if you want the one that can perform unlimited functions, you have to download it. You have to download the app. I'm going to direct you to all the places that you go. All right, so don't worry about that. I will direct you to where you should go. Okay, so but for now we are just using this. All other things will be coming up later. Okay, that's that as for that. So now we have explained to you. I have explained to you what this print function does. I have explained to you what this print function does. I've as well explained to you the meaning of constants and variables. I've also told you, I told you that this 2 is an example of a numeric constant. This 5 is an example of a numeric constant. Emmanuel is an example of a non-numeric constant. Okay? It is not a number, so it is the non-numeric constant. Constant because they don't change. They don't change. They remain like that forever. But variable, x is an example of variable. Y here is an example of variable. Why do we call them variable? Because they can assume a particular value now, and then their value will change next time. Do you understand? So now let me show you much more. Let me explain much more to you about variables. So I'm going to wipe out this screen. Okay, good. So let's talk about variable proper, because we're going to need them. We're going to make use of them a whole lot in programming. I want you to understand that variable is not limited to letter X or letter Y. No. Variable is anything, any word with a good number of character that can just be used to represent anything. For instance, I can do something like this. Let me say I want to design a program that will calculate the average age of 3 people. The average age of 3 people. All I do is I will say age 1. Age 1, maybe age 1 is 45. I come down, I say age 2 is 23 or 33, and I say age 3 is 62, and I want to calculate the average age. See, this age 1 that you are seeing here is an example of a variable, just like the x and y that we used earlier. Age 2 is an example of variable, age 3 is an example of variable. All these things are variables. Do you understand it now? So all this one on the other side, they are all constants. They are constant values that are stored inside variables. So by me saying age 1 is equal to 45, I am telling Python that, Mr. Python, please, I create a variable in the memory of a computer. Call that variable age 1. Help me to store the value 45 inside that variable. That is what you are telling computer. Please, so Mr. Computer, create a variable that is called age 1 for me. After creating the variable, help me to store 45 inside it. Computer, create another variable that is called age 2. Create it in your memory. Help me to store 33 inside it. Mr. Computer, create age 3 in your memory. Help me to store 62 inside it. And the computer will do exactly what you have just asked it to do for you. So later on, if you want to be sure whether these variables are stored, you can just even test it. You can say print age 1. Print age 1, and it is going to display the result for you very well. When you run the program, by the time you run the program and you see it print 45 for you. You ask him to print age 1 and it prints 45 for you, because 45 has been automatically stored inside the variable called age 1. It's as simple as that. Okay, if you say print age 2, it is going to do the same thing for you. Print age 3 is going to print age 62 for you. That is how it goes. But if I want to find the average of age 1, age 2, age 3 mathematically, thank God we all went to school, and mathematics says if you want to find the average of something, you are going to add those things up and then divide it by the number of items. So now we want to find the average age of 3 people. All we just do is that we say age 1, can say age 1 plus age 2, then we say plus age 3, and okay, then everything divided by 2. We use this slash, divided by 3. We use this slash to divide. But because if I keep it the way it is like this, I'm going to have an error. You know why? Age 1, age 2, and age 3 are inside these brackets, governed by this print statement. So the print statement is going to add age 1, age 2, and age 3 and display the result for us. But this one that is outside is not covered by the print statement. So for us to make sure that it covers it, what we do is that we are going to use another bracket and then put another bracket, so that the external bracket that is here, you see that the computer has also highlighted the second one. So the bracket at the beginning and at the end is the one that is working as the engagement bracket that this print is going to work on. So which means that this print statement is going to work on every content of this bracket from beginning to the end. But the second bracket that is inside here, like this, is the one that just covers the result of, is the one that will help us to calculate the result of age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3. And by the time it calculates the result of the 3 of them, it divides everything by what? By 3. And then puts it inside the external bracket for these print statements to work on. So I believe you understood what I just did. Okay? Before, this bracket was not there, but it will give us an error if we leave it this way. So, but in order to make sure that, okay, this bracket will help us to calculate age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3, get the answer in one place, and divide that answer by 3. So, but then we now need another bracket that will help us to make this print statement to work. So therefore, we have to create a bracket outside that will help this print statement, so that this print statement, what it will do is that everything from here to here, it will calculate everything and display the results for us. That is how it works. So at the end of the day, so let's see how it works. Normally, let us use our brain to do it. 45 plus 33. Let me use small numbers, I beg. 4 plus 3 plus 6. 4 plus 3 plus 6. 4 plus 3 will give us 7. And 7 plus 6, let me make it 4 plus 4, let me say 4 plus 5 plus 6. Alright, and then plus 7. So we all know that 4 plus 5, we all know that 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay, 4 plus 5 is 9. And then 9 plus 7, what will it give us? I want to know whether you are following me. 9 plus 7, what will it give us? 16. Good. Alright, good. I want something. Okay, let me put 9 here. I want something that 3 can divide easily. Okay, so let's do it. Yes, let's do it. 4 plus 9 is 5, right? I want us to use our head to do the calculation. You understand? So that we will, whatever answer that Python gives us, we'll be sure that it is the right answer. Okay? So that there won't be ojoro. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. And we all know that if we divide 18 by 3, you understand? We divide 18 by 3, we are going to get 6. So let's see whether 6 is going to be the answer by the time we display. So what we are just trying to do here is that we want to find the average of these 3 ages. Age 1, age 2, age 3, we want to find the average. So to find the average, we add age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3, divide the entire result by 3, and then we try to use these print statements to display the results. So that is what we are trying to do. I would advise everybody to get a laptop, so you can be listening to this lecture with your phone or with your tab, and you can be practicing on the laptop at the same time. Or if you are using a laptop, you can open two windows. One window for the application that you are typing for the running of the program, and another window for following the lecture. You understand it now, so it can be good like that. All right, so now let's quickly move on without wasting time. And then this class is recorded, so I will send the recording after the class, after I finish working on the video. So you should be expecting notes and be expecting video. I want to have serious programmers on my platform. Don't let my work to be in vain. Let's go. So 4 plus 5 plus 9 is going to be 18. And then by the time you divide 18 by 3, we expect the answer to be 6. So let's see whether Python is a liar or not. So we have just asked him to display the result of age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3 altogether divided by 3. Display the result. That's the meaning of print. So let's run it. Ta-da! We got our answer as 6.0. So which is very correct. Now, you see, anytime you use a division, you divide in Python, be sure that the result will always come in decimal by default. But if you don't want the results to come in decimal, there is something you will do. But I don't want us to go that far for now. For now, we are going to do a whole lot. So don't let us go that far for now. We are going to do so much later. But just let's leave it like this. 6.0, 6.0, no problem. All right. So Jim Olamide says this is my first time of joining the program. I'm really doing a lot of work here. I'm checking your message at the same time, teaching you at the same time, running the program at the same time. It's fine. It's all good. I'm enjoying it. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Jim Olamide. Please, you can just use that link, click on the link, and then we'll be doing other introduction later on. Just for you to be able to follow us along, just click on that link, and then it will take you to the platform that we are using to type the code. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, now back to where we are. Okay, good. So now I can still do something here again. If I don't want to use print age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3, I can just still say, I can do like this. I can say age 1 plus, I can just write something like this. I can say average is equal to age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3. Okay, all divided by 3. And then I will now come here, all divided by 3. Then I will now come here. Okay, so I'll get to the next line and say print average. Okay, So now this age 1 is a variable, age 2 is a variable, age 3 is a variable, average is a variable. Every variable written in this program comes in gray color. Every numeric constant come in this orange color, and every reserved word, special word, come in purple color. You understand? So all of them have their work, just for you to be sure that you are doing what is right. All those color codes, they have their function. They are passing some message to you. Do you understand it now? So a variable is just any word or any letter or anything that we use to represent something, to contain something, to contain a constant. That is what we call a variable. Their work is just a container. They serve as a container. For instance, age 1 contains what? 4. Because you have asked the computer to throw the number 4, to save the number 4 as age 1, to save the number 5 as age 2, and to save the number 9 as age 3. Now we are asking the computer to add age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3, and when you finish adding it, divide the whole result by 3, and then save everything here. The result of everything here, save it as what? As a variable called average. And now in line number 5, we are saying print, which means display the result of what? Of average. Do you understand it now? So, and then by the time you do that, you will, please, I want you all to stay to the end of the class, because you must register for this program. It is through the registration, through the information you leave with me. It is through that information that you'll be getting updates from me. If I want to send video to you now, it is through the same link. I will send the same information that you leave with me. That is where I will drop the link to. That's where I will drop the videos to, and every information I want to display, I want to give out. It is true that's detail that you leave with me that I'm going to send everything out. So you must wait till the end of the program. If you have not registered before, I will send you the link to register so that you can be able to follow up. All right. So please, it is very important that you register for this program so that you can be carried along with everything that we are doing on a daily basis. I'm going to be giving you assignments. You need to submit your assignments and show me your work and all of those things like that, so that I can be sure you are progressing. Okay. So, and all of these assignments that I'm sending, I have to send them to you through. I have to send the assignments to you through the details that you leave with me. So if I don't have your phone number, if I don't have your email, there's no way I can send all these things to you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So by the time you do all of these things now, we have print average. So when you say print average, which means that you expect the computer to have done all of these things for you and save the results here, and then you just want you want Python to do what? To display that average for you. All right, so let's see what happens. By the time you run the program, you see that it still gives us the same results, which is 6.0. So which means that the average age is 6.0, and that is that as per that. So you can program in different style. Yoruba says onokon woja, which means that there is no one way to the market. The market can be, there are numerous ways you can achieve the same results when you are doing programming. What matters most is that you should know what you are doing. You understand? So today so far, I have told you about the print statement. It is used to display results or to display anything. I've told you about constants. I've told you about variables. But there are some things I've not still mentioned, and those things are staring at you on this screen. Another thing again I've not mentioned is that this equal to that you are seeing here is called an assignment. It's called an assignment statement. Equal to is called an assignment statement. It is used to assign values to variables. You use this equality sign to assign values to variables. That's what you use it for. Do you understand? So, for instance, now I am assigning the value 4 to variable age 1. I'm assigning the value 5 to variable age 2. I'm assigning the value 9 to variable age 3. That is what you are doing here. And I am assigning all of these things here to what? To this variable called what? Average. So, the equality sign in Python programming and in any other programming is called an assignment. It's called an assignment sign or assignment symbol. Do you understand it now? So it is used to assign values to variables. Now, if you have something like this, for instance, let me say I say 5 plus 4 or 5 plus 6, okay? This 5 that I'm having here is called an operand. This 6 is also called an operand. But this thing in the middle here is called an operator. 5 is an operand, 6 is an operand, But this plus sign is called an operator. Okay, an operator is used to carry out some operation between two operands. For instance, if I say x is equal to 5 plus 6, what I have here, the complete thing here I have here is called an expression. And an expression consists of what? Of a variable, an operand, a variable, an operator, an assignment symbol, and also what? An operand. So the combination of operands and then the assignment symbol and the operator, the combination of everything here is called an expression. So we have a complete expression here, and which we give us values. For instance, if you say print x, print x here simply means when you run it, this is 6.0 and this is 11. The 6.0 came from this result of line number 5, and the 11 came from the result of line number 7. If I want Python to put a space in between, as a learner, as a beginner, we can just say print and put empty brackets, no problem. When you say print and you put empty brackets, you are just trying to say print an empty space and then print whatever result comes here. So by the time you run the program, you will see that there is going to be space between the two results. The result that you got as 6.0 from this printing of average, and then the result that you got from adding 5 to 6, you see that there is a space between the two, and this space is because you involved an empty print statement. So as you advance in your programming, there are other ways to achieve this same thing, but all of this you are going to learn them step by step. I don't want to rush you too much. The few things you have learned this evening, just go and drink water on it and let it digest properly, and then we'll come back again tomorrow to come and learn something new again. You understand? So, but this is I'm just petting you now. You are going to do a whole lot of advanced stuff later on. And another thing again that I've not really discussed with you, and that is also staring at you at the screen, I've not discussed with you some rules that concern the usage of variables. Please, I beg you, no matter what you are doing in programming, okay, especially in Python and in most other common programs too, don't start a variable name with a number. Rule number 1, never ever start a variable name with a number. So as you can see, you can put numbers, you can mix numbers and alphabets to form a variable, but don't say one age. One age is wrong as a variable. It's wrong. It is not acceptable in world of programming. But you can say age 1. Age 1 is good, no problem. All right. So this one is very, very wrong. This one is very wrong. This one is very correct. All right. Please. And then when you say, then I didn't remember to tell you comments in programming, please. Comments in Python programming, you can achieve that using the hash symbol. You see, this hash symbol is used to give comments in your code. The work of this comment is that it helps you to understand some aspect of your code so that you will not be lost, because as time goes on, you are going to be dealing with thousands of lines of code. We are still dealing with 1 to 13 here. Yes, it also makes code readable very good. It shows you have an idea. So comments makes code to be readable, and it's also it helps you to document your code. Okay, for instance, so that you will not get lost. So for you to be able to know the meaning of every aspect of your code, it's good to comment them. If I want to comment this one now, I can put something like this hash symbol. I can say to find the average age of 3 people. Okay, so I have just gave this note now just to let people know that I am right. This aspect of code is used to find the average age of 3 people. Okay, one thing about comments is that the program doesn't run comments. It can run every other thing. No, the code will run from year to year, but this thing that I put here as a comment, it will not run it. to not run it. So the comment is your own personal notes. It is kept there so that you can be able to keep track of what you're doing. Do you understand it now? And then and also, if any other person is reading your code, it will also help the person to understand your code very well, so that the person too will not be confused about what your code is all about. So it helps you as a programmer. It also helps another programmer that is trying to study your code. You understand? To document your program, to understand what every aspect of your program is all about. And moreover, it also helps for code readability. It serves a lot of function. So as time goes on, you yourself will be exposed to many more things that comments can do in programming. Do you understand? So that's how it goes. Yeah, age 1, age 2, age 3. I just told you something is still telling me there's something I've not taught you in this foundation class. Yeah, I'm still teaching you the foundation, basics. Tomorrow is another foundation again. We'll do. In fact, the whole of this week is about foundation. So from next week we start to eat correct meats. We do serious coding from next week. Everything this week is all about foundation, building you up with things that you should learn, things that you must know about coding. All right. Okay. Let me extend this class to another. Let me extend it to another 30 minutes. So we are going to end by 9 o'clock. All right. So. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, additional. You said I was giving some rules about variables. Thank you for helping me to find my way back. All right. So let me put it here like rules of variables. Rules of variables. Okay. So please, rule number one. Rule number one is that don't start variable with a number. I hope you have a jotter and you are putting some things down. Never ever start a variable with a number. It is very wrong. All variables are started with a letter, but you can put number at the end or any part of the body, no problem. But it doesn't start with number. That's rule number one. Rule number two is that there are two major conventional ways. There are two conventional ways of writing variables in programming. Way number one is that you can use what we call camel casing. Please, and let me make this one rule number two. Sorry, rule number two is that don't start with a capital letter, please. If you start with capital letter, you are confusing yourself. You are also confusing the Python program, because there are some things that actually start with capital letter which are special words. Do you understand it now? Most especially when you are doing things in JavaScript or Java itself and all that. Okay, but please, all variables must start with small letter. All variables must start with small letter. So this one is wrong. If I say average is wrong in capital letter. This one is wrong. Average is wrong. Okay, but what is right? This one is right when you say average. Average is right. Okay. Average is right as because it started with small letter. This one is wrong because it starts with capital letter. Please take notes. All right. So rule number one is that okay, let me type it for you. Rule number one, I'm going to use a comment. Never start a variable with a number. Rule number one. And rule number two, never start a variable with a capital letter. That's rule number two. Rule number three, use either camel casing or underscore to separate words in a variable. You use either camel casing or you use underscore to separate words. So I'm going to tell you that if you have this example now, you can say Mr. Emmanuel, or let me just say my age. This is very correct. This is called what we call the camel. We call it camel casing. We call it camel casing because it looks like camel. It has galloping. Okay, let me say my best scores. My best score. All right. You will see that I started with a small letter, but every other word is written. Every other word starts with capital letter, but they must be joined together. They must be joined together. Okay. Let me make it rule number 3, that you should never separate words in a variable name. So when I say it is very bad, it is very bad for me to say my age. It is very bad. This is wrong. I would rather write it as my age. This is correct. I would rather write as my age. This is very correct. It is very wrong to say my and age. Very, very wrong. You understand? So you have what we call my best score. You have the camel casing, my best score, and then like that. This is called camel casing because the first letter will start with small letter, but every other word, the first word will start with small letter, but every other word will be in capital letter. You understand? So it's called camel casing. Okay, and then we have another way of doing the same thing. This is also called camel casing. Camel casing. All right. So, and then we can the other one is separating words with underscore. So I can say my best score. This is also very much allowed. This is also allowed. It is called the use of what? Of underscore. To separate words. Very much allowed. So very, very much allowed. You can say my best score, no problem. But if you know that you want to write them together, you write them in camel casing. If you want to separate them, don't separate them with space. You separate them with what? With underscore. So that is how to do it as a professional programmer. That's a conventional conventional method of writing variable names. I believe you are clear with that. So rule number 1, don't use number. Don't start with number. Rule number 2, don't start with capital letter. Rule number 3, don't separate words. Don't separate words with spaces. Okay, let me say don't separate words in the variable name with empty space. Don't separate them with empty spaces. No, don't do that. Okay, you write them together. And in order to make it clear by writing together, you can use camel casing or you can use underscore. No problem, you are good to go. So those are important rules you must bear in mind when you are dealing with variables. All right, so in order to cover the remaining 20 minutes, I want to extend the class till 9. So to cover the remaining 20 minutes, I am going to, let me just go further to teach you more stuffs in the introduction. All right, so let's quickly deal with something we call operators. Let's quickly go to operators. Let's say numeric operators. So numeric operators in Python programming language and most other languages too. All right. Operator number 1 is called the equal to. this equal to is called an assignment operators, an assignment operator, sorry. Now there is something again I've not explained to you about comments. Comments is of two types. When you a single line comment is you use hashtag to represent a single line comment, which means a comment that goes on one single line, on one single long line. Is you use hashtag. But if you want to comment a whole body of code, you understand? All I just need to do is if you want to comment more than one lines, okay. If I want to comment maybe I want to comment only this place. I want it to be as a comment, because another use of comment is that you use comment to block out a block of code that you don't want the Python program to run. If I don't want Python program to run line 9 and line 10, because all I just do is I will just put these 3 quotes, single quotes, 1, 2, 3. Only 3 is enough, okay? And then the place I want it to end, I put another 3 quotes again, 1, 2, 3. By the time I do that, you will see that every other thing goes back to normal. But the only thing that is in green is from year to year, which shows that if I run this program, Python is going to do every other thing, but it is not going to touch this one. Python is going to do every other thing, but it's not going to touch this one at all. It is going to jump this one and pass, because you have commented it out. So Python sees the whole of the things you wrote there as comments. It doesn't see them as part of the program, so it is not going to run it. So whenever you want to run a single line comment, you use a hashtag. When you want to run multi-line comments, you use the 3 quotes, and it serves you well, and you are good to go. Do you understand? So that is how it goes. Now, coming to this place, I'm going to use the multi-line comments, because I don't want Python to. Let me even use it all through in this place. Use of variables. I don't want Python to start bringing out error on error. So let me just comment the whole of this place. Okay. So everything is now commented. The place you want it to end, you can just put another 3 there. Okay. All right. Now let's go on. This is an assignment operator. So the function of an assignment operator is to just assign values, on the value. So it assigns the value on the right hand side to the variable on the left. That's what it does. Okay. So let's say, example, you can say age is equal to 34. So what it does is that it assigns this one now assigns value 34 to what? To variable age, and that is just what it does. So if you come here now, this is number 1. Okay. Number 2, another kind of operator that we deal with is addition. Numeric operator is what? The addition. The addition operator. Okay. What it does is that we know what it does, Sha. It adds 2 numeric operands. It adds 2 numeric operands. All right, you're welcome. Well, some people are leaving, some people are joining. Okay, you're welcome. The new person, the name is long, so I can't really. So please, if you want to just follow us up with what we are doing, just check the chats, part, and then you will see the link to the place that's the stuff that we are doing, the platform that we are using, the IDE that we are using. Okay, so now let's go on, please. So the plus, this plus is called an addition operator. It has two numeric operands. All right, and then we have so for example, we have 2 plus 6, and we know that 2 plus 6 will give us whatever value it is. That's 8. So we have another operator, which is the minus. Okay, this is called the subtraction operator. We know what it does. Okay, we know what it does. And we have number 4. We have this one is for division. And then number 6, we have this double division here. This one, what it does is that it divides 2 operands and rounds off the results to the nearest whole number. That's what it does. Okay, I want us to actually work with this one. Let's say x. Let's just say results is equal to. Okay, let me take it out of the comments. You see that the color has changed. So I've taken it out of the comments line. So now let me just say result is equal to 50 double 3. All right, so which means I want to divide 50 by 3. So if you see this, by the time you run it, hold on. It's just showing the results of the okay. I've commented out all of this. So now if I say result is equal to 50 double 3, and I say okay, print, and I say print results. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. I want to display the results. You can see that the answer it gave us here is what? 16. It is not as if 16 is supposed to be the right answer. For instance, if let me just say okay, let me say results 1 is equal to 50 divided by 3. I could also write it together. It will still give me the same answer. Doesn't matter. But I usually space it just for clarity. Okay, so when you say result 1 is equal to this, let me say result 2 is this. And I'll say print result 1 and print results 2. Okay, so let's see what happens. Print results 1, print result 2. By the time I run it, okay, you see what result 1 gave us. It gave us 16.6 everything, but result 2 gave us just 16. It cuts out everything at the back and gave us only the number before the decimal point. So that is what this double division does. It divides 2 operands and rounds off to the result to the nearest whole number. In fact, let me just say, and it divides 2 operands, and because if it's about rounding off, I think the answer here is supposed to be 17. So what it just does here, it divides 2 operands and let me say and cuts off everything after the decimal points. So that's the work it does. So you can see that because I've commented this line, Python is not even doing as if it's seeing it. It didn't even do as if it saw this line at all. Everything I did from year to year like this, none of them appear in the code. It is the only thing that's appeared before that comment and after it that was appearing in the results. This is the result of that average. This is the result for the average, and then this is the result for print 1 and print result 1 and print result 2. So as you can see, so that's how it goes. That's the work of the comments. So I believe you have gained something else again tonight. You have learned how to use the 2 types of comments, which is the single line comments and the multi-line comments. You have also learned some basic operators, which is the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, the division. Okay, I've not told you about multiplication, so let's go. Let's go. Which is number 7. Number 7 is the division of the multiplication of pressure, which is represented by the asterisk. So this asterisk is for multiplication. The asterisk is for multiplication. Okay. So and then, so for instance, when you say e.g. like 2 times 5 is rather written as what? 2 asterisk 5. 2 times 5 is rather written as 2 asterisk 5. So you don't write times in programming, you write asterisks. Okay. So for instance, let me just do it here. Like if you say 3, if you say print 3 asterisk 5 and you close it, so by the time you run it, you know the answer is supposed to be 15. So that is what we have here, 15, which is the last one here. So asterisk is what we use for multiplication. Don't forget, you don't use times for multiplication, you use asterisk. Then when you go to number 8, so you have double asterisk is actually used for exponentation. Which some people will call power. So e.g., 2 raised to power, let me say 2 raised to power 3 is written as 2 exponent 3. That's how you write it. So 2 raised to power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2 in 3 places. Okay, so that's supposed to give us 8. 2 times 2 4, 4 times 2 8. So let's try it whether we are going to get 8 by the time we do it here. So let's do it here. Let's say print the results, display the results of 2 raised to power 3. Display the result of 2 raised to power 3. Let's run the program, and then it gave us the correct answer, which is 8. So that's how it goes. All right. So now that's how it goes. Okay. So I've discussed the basic stuff that we used to do division and multiplication in that we used to do some basic mathematical operations in Python. Well, there are still a few other operators, okay, we are going to discuss. Maybe we are going to be discussing the other operators, because it is not all of them that are, it's not all the operators that are for performing calculations. Some of them are not for calculations, some of them are for some other things. So we are going to talk about what other kinds of operators we have. We're going to discuss all of that tomorrow. But the ones that we discussed today now is just the basic numeric operators that we have in Python programming. And that's also applicable in some other kind of programming as well. So I believe that so far so good, you have learned a lot this evening. And then more is still coming. It's a promise I made to you. We still have more coming up. And then you are going to enjoy all of it as we proceed. So, against tomorrow. Okay, wait. All right, against tomorrow, I'm going to give you some assignments. So for you to be able to join the group where we'll be posting assignments, where we'll be posting questions and answers, like if you try to achieve something that you could not do it properly, where you can post the question, you will see other people that will help you to answer it, or probably when I come online too, I will check and also answer it too. So you might not have to be sending private messages to me, please. You can just put it in the group. Anytime I'm online or I'm free, I will check and I will give you the results. Okay, please check the chat box for the link to join the WhatsApp group if you have not yet joined. Just click on it. It's going to take you to the WhatsApp straight up. In that WhatsApp group, any question that you have, any difficulty that you have during the course of your program, just paste it there and you are going to get a response as soon as I see it. and some other friends too, some of you too who knows the right answer can as well. Because I'm going to be posting assignments, you're going to be writing assignments, you're going to be doing some things. You're not just going to be here learning and learning. You need to put some things into practice to be sure whether you learned properly, or to be sure whether you understood everything that you learned. So you understand. So I'm going to be giving you assignments, I'm going to be giving you tasks, I'm going to be giving you projects, I'm going to divide you people into subgroups where we can be working together to do projects together. So it's going to be a very big journey together. It's quite unfortunate that we are not so much for today, but I'm sure that from tomorrow we will increase the number. I'm going to increase the publicity so everybody can have the access to this link and all that. So but it starts from you joining the WhatsApp group. I'm also going to send a registration link to you. You register because I need to know the people I'm working with. So I need to get some information about you. I need your name, your phone number, your email address, and all of that, so that I will be posting any kind of correspondence to that place, so that you all can be updated. You can be carried along with whatever is it that is going on. You understand it now? So that is how it goes. And I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end the meeting right here. Every other thing you want to know about, you learn them through. Every other thing you want to know about, so you learn it through the WhatsApp group. Any question you want to have, you want to ask, you ask in the WhatsApp group. Every other information, because I want my 9 o'clock to be 9 o'clock, and in a few seconds time it will be exactly 9, and then this meeting will end. Well, so within the few seconds, I want to know, okay, it's 9 o'clock on dot. All right, so before we go, I want you all to unmute your mic and express yourself. Do you feel good being here tonight? And what have you learned? Just share with me, express yourself, and then we continue our discussion in the WhatsApp group for another few minutes, and then you can go to bed if you want to. And then please, the link to these notes that we have here just now, if you go to that online Python, you will see something like a share. You see something like share here. You can actually share the code. So I'm doing that now. Okay. Let me just set an expiry this thing. Let me just set 1 month, and then I'm going to share it. Error connecting to server. What's up now? Oh, shit. But actually, you can share it. You can share your code. It will give you a link. So if I send the link to you, you can, when you click on the link, all of these things that is displayed here, everything will come up. It takes you straight. You see the notes on it. It says share the code to your friends and colleagues. Okay, so you can just share. I don't know why it's putting this. Okay, now this time around they brought it out. Okay, so when it brings this one, you say share the code, you just copy. Just press this copy. It says the thing is copied, and then I'm going to paste it in the WhatsApp group right now, and then I paste it there, and there we go. Bagam, and that's all. So anybody that clicks on that link now, it's going to take you straight. It's going to take you straight to the code. So all the notes I wrote for you in the code and other examples that we had, you will see it there, except the ones I have wiped out, the one I erased. So that's how it goes. Yeah, you're welcome. So is there any other thing again? Anyone? Let me even start reading your comments. There are some funny. Yeah, somebody said I thought the class was really simple. You made this so. This is the first time a coding class has been this simple. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm gonna do the screenshots. Okay, yeah. Glory said. Wow, there are more messages here. I didn't scroll down before. Thanks so much, Mr. Emmanuel. God bless you. I'm still on the road. I will appreciate the note and the audio, no problem. Well, Mr. Emmanuel, thanks for this great opportunity. Thank you for everything. And then this is thank you very much for the class. Yeah, Chinaza, I got to understand more things. Wow, I love that. I'm going to take you through a 6 month journey, and the journey is going to be very powerful. by the end of the 6 months, you are not going to be the same person you see yourself as today again. You're going to be a pro, as in a big time pro. And then you now advance to pro, which means you get enough knowledge to advance to pro. But even with the pro alone, you'll be able to do a lot. You'll be able to make a lot of money. You understand? And all that. I'll put the registration link in the WhatsApp group. You just join the WhatsApp group first, and then every other thing will be dropped in the WhatsApp group. This is 909, and I would just say it's good to have all of you. Thank you so very much for coming, for joining this meeting. I want to see you again by 7 o'clock tomorrow for another wonderful adventure. All right. So good to have all of you. You can click the red button to leave the meeting. All right.